Ah, salutations, class, and welcome back. We have a simple, straightforward Noita stream tonight, and expect Guilty Gear on the weekend. In the future, I might be cutting down on the streams a little bit. I'd like to start trying to prepare more stream assets, such as an intro and outro, maybe a couple of other video edits to test my skills, see what other things we can learn around here. But for now, sit back and relax. We're going to do a little bit of spelunking. As is the roguelike goes, we'll have to start a new game. And hopefully not die too soon. Why are you not rendering, you fiend? I command you. Let there be light. There we go. Well, at least we got our technical mishap out of the way early. You feel wary. Well, that looks like sticks of dynamite on the side, so it's probably some sort of explosive effect. Another potion. Actually, that gives us an idea. That will boost our levitation magic, which we might be able to use to get over the cliff here, depending on how much of a positive effect it lends us. Will we be able to carve out a little spot for ourselves? Perhaps here. Maybe not so soon. There we go. And we've already found our way up here. Do you have any secrets to give to me? Snow. Of course there's a secret up here. We might have to carve ourselves a little spot, but let's see if there's anything interesting on the other side of the mountain. It might lead us to yet another tree. I don't think there's any insurmountable hills over on this side, so we shouldn't be needing too much more levitatium. Levitatium, I wonder how it's pronounced. We have ourselves a little bouncy staff, and the cliff just cuts off into the water. Let's go and see what we can find at that shrine first at the top of the mountain. You know, I'd very much love a game that does a more surface level sort of dungeon creation like this. You've seen with our Dead Cells playthrough that most of the game takes place underground, or inside of a building. I suppose it lends itself to a much more interesting vertical level design, but I'd like to see one that... You don't get too much of a generation opportunity with fields and hills now, do you? That might be a big part of the difference. So let's not injure ourselves this time, but we will create a small hole for ourselves. Well, it was an idea brought up when we started looking to the left and climbing up the tree, but we picked up a levitation potion so soon, and I still had the opportunity to remember going up here. Welcome to the stream, Sunbroham. I'm happy to see you. See if this platform does anything. Brickwork, glowing stone, and a tablet. That's not going to explode. What is that anyway? Magic missile, and it's explosive. see if we can just carve our way up here. Well, we might just lend ourselves to a ridiculous amount of injuries instead. But I suppose it will be worth it for the discovery, at least. Give me back my levitating. Emerald Tablet, Volume 1. It's gonna be very loud, though, so let's see if we can just pick that up. Secrets of endless lava have been unlocked to you. Is that a permanent oh, that's a spell. Summons a large body of lava below the oh dear. I'm going to be dying very soon, aren't I? Well, we press onward. We can't explore very far in the other direction due to the trees, and I think it blocks us off after a certain point. Now that we're away from the obnoxious hum of the various magic tablets, let's see if we can give this one a read. Emerald Tablet, Volume 1. 'Tis true without lying, certain and most true. That which is below is like that which is above, and that which is above is like that which is below. To do the miracles of one only thing, and as all things have been and arose from one but... What is this grammar? I can't make heads or tails of it. And as all things have been and arose from what? It's omitting commas that it very much needs. That would help the pacing. And as all things have been and arose from one, by the meditation of one, so all things have their birth from this one thing by adaptation. No idea what that does, but let's see what we can find on the other side of the little lake here. Let me guess. Are those fish going to murder me? So far, doesn't look like it. What is this? It keeps going. Well, we have an exciting and seldom seen opportunity here. I suppose this will only happen whenever we have a levitation potion, or some sort of similar effect we have access to near the beginning. Sort of a long and lonely trek now, isn't it? Oh, they put in a lot more effort up here. I didn't unlock a hard mode, did I? Well, it seems there's a lot more of an opportunity for you to travel. Why would they barricade it behind such a difficult jump? I suppose I need to swallow my own words now. Previously I mentioned the lack of games that add a bit of surface exploration, but it seems that's just what we're getting here. Something very big apparently died here. Well, we have our own supply of water, but seems we might have a long way to travel. Wonder if there's a secret ending this way or something. So far, the surface is absolutely barren. Possibly some doors there, but it doesn't look like we can open them. I had no idea it would generate out this far. looks like there's an entire dungeon in there. Another tablet just for traveling. Secrets of Earth's anger have been unlocked to you. Earthquake. It's a projectile. Interesting. Emerald Tablet of Thoth. The necessity of concealing the art is one of the chief anxieties of alchemists. We are Alright, it happened again. We are sworn to secrecy by heaven and earth and hell, less rock, by the four elements, by the height and the depth, by Hermes, by Anubis, and the howlings of Kerberos. An oath has been required of us to reveal nothing clearly to any uninitiated being. We're running out of slots to place our tablets. I've hardly entered the pyramid now. I'm just walking around on the other side. I wonder if this remains always an option for us. We might have been able to carve our way in, but I'd hardly have the explosives for it. If it turns out the world is always this big, you might find me playing this game a lot more often. Essence Eater. Whatever that means. I'm not going to waste our limited supply of explosives just trying to dig our way down there. Someone left their comically large scale out here. I see we have a few bridges in the background. That might be an Orlando in the distance. And another long, fruitless trek across the desert. No pun intended with the lack of fruits you'd find here anyway. Well, this is obviously some sort of device made out of, well, metal, but it appears to resemble a tentacle. And it is placed here resting atop the statue of a hand. Okay, that's cute. Hardly enough vertical tracking on the face for that sequence, wasn't it? I was dancing far more than my model would suggest. Take caution. It's not going to be safe for us down here. I suppose this is where our journey ends, isn't it? Extremely dense rock. Given its adjectives, I assume this is the equivalent of Minecraft bedrock. Something we absolutely cannot destroy under any circumstances. Though it is a cliff we can scale. Knowing the barriers they made to boundary breaking before. They would have obviously blocked us off by now if there was nothing for us to look at. Well, ominous geometric shapes ahoy. What do we have here? Is any part of this destructible? It is. And we have a limited number of shots. Make them count. Your being releases damaging light. Well, I suppose that's a buff enough that warrants our long trek out here. It seems after that point... Okay, noted. Falling damage absolutely does not exist, even if my heart stopped for the entire duration of that fall. Am I taking damage from that? I am. From my own explosions. I suppose I'll just have to hop every so often. Well, there you have it. Noita is now a rhythm game. Doesn't give us much time to dally on finding items now, does it? Although I do believe the game pauses whenever you find a wand. Let's see what's in here. At least it will be helpful in combat. I think it's a trade-off we can deal with. Well, we get to see what the Essence Eater does. Not something we can pick up. Well, more things for us to figure out. Apparently, that took whatever our effect was from that shrine. I'll find a use for that later. Oh. Do we have any description? Looks like it could stand the test of aeons. We have some sort of MacGuffin assembly to do here, don't we? My first guess, if we're going by obscure and completely unconfirmed sort of lore narration that we have here, it took away our Essence of Earth effect, and now it's turning rock into soil. Which, it might have different elements it could absorb. That'd be my guess, at least. We'll damage the structural integrity of this pyramid now. We could have almost been able to get in there. Though I'm hesitant to use more of my explosives. Not so soon. It causes a little bit of the unstable parts of the pyramid to crumble away, you'll notice. This game's just full of surprises now, isn't it? So, what's the shaking? Let's see if this crumbles our doors. It did, to an extent. And we have one more shot. See what we can muster from in here. Maybe that's not one of the best ideas. Oh, the entire place is unstable, isn't it? Maybe not if I turned it to soil. It seems much more hesitant to crumble now. Ah, just barely. So that turns the pots into water. Apparently they're full of something explosive. While we have this opportunity, we'd best not squander it. Of course, we're just about to die at the same time. Obviously, a fly covered in skulls is not something friendly to us now, is it? Oh, goodness, it can follow us. How much health do you have? Don't tell me the thing's immortal now. Well, it's slow and easily outmaneuvered, so it just might be. Well, that's definitely a boss. One we are not equipped for. We are definitely about to die. Well, we made a few discoveries in our time here, at least. 20 minutes in, and we haven't done a single progressive thing. We're not able to make that jump normally, are we? Sure doesn't look like it. Absolutely not. The honorary beginning of the game card kick. Back to the old grind we go. I wonder if we're able to get back up after we go through the Holy Mountain the first time. Or if that's just permanently a certain level of depth you go to. I think that one might serve us a lot better in first place. Ah, it's quick. One of the better ones we found so far. And so early into the level too. Casket of oil. More berserkium. And a secret to be found in the depths below. Empty potion. Haven't found one of those yet. You see the lantern up here? We are starting to understand the more puzzle-solving elements of this game. Though I suppose there's hardly any use for the oil in here. Except for the fact that we can do that now. Well, we begun puzzle solving in here. Well, obviously we want ones underneath there, so... that's hardly going to work for us now, is it? Unless Berserkium doesn't do anything to douse flames. Quick! I suppose that's one way to make it work. Just light yourself on fire, forehead. There we go. Fan the flames just a little bit. I wonder, could we just fill this with Berserkium as well? Hardly does there seem to be a way for us to get in there now. We'll take the shortcut. What a waste of our time. Alright. Give me that. You can hardly see the tiny bugger. They're practically invisible. More oil to be found. Get blasted. Thank you. Another glitter bomb. Interesting. And let's see what this one does for us. I suppose that will be better for us than the starter wand, so let's go ahead and pick that up. Ah, cute. I like it. Please don't explode on me. So the toxic sludge goes away. Though that does open up a new pathway for us to travel through. Already so close to dying. Let's find our way out of here and soon. We've already picked up such wonderful equipment so far. I think a pheromone potion will definitely do us justice. And justice was had. 6 minutes. Run it back. Acceleration potion this time. A wand, and the second one has magic missile equipped. Alright, let's pick things up a little bit. Make sure we don't die so soon. We're almost digging a hole there, but I don't think we're going to be able to access that gold right there. Not so soon. These supports are beginning to annoy me. Just burn it all to the ground. How's the audio, by the way? I'm still experimenting with my setup. Whiskey. That went up in smoke immediately. What's burning up there? Oil. And it managed to get through the walls. How interesting. So we picked up a little trick of ours. That's one way to start a quick fire. And with all that coal behind there, if we can get some way to start fire up there, we have ourselves an entire new route to explore. Well, that's some damage I really didn't want at this time. Is magic missile flammable? A fiery explosive projectile. I wonder just how much processing power this eats up. This game runs remarkably smooth for something trying to simulate so many thousands and, honestly, millions of pixels. Well, that sets us quite a bit ahead. Let's see what's underneath here. Now that I think about it, if you don't plan on using the acceleration, okay, that's interesting. So that's how we're supposed to drink them. You'll get the effect for a little bit rather than necessarily pouring it everywhere and standing on top of it. Nothing else to be found up here. Well, class, your teacher certainly needs to learn some lessons himself. Took me 6 hours to figure out how to drink. Although, if I remember, I tried doing that pretty quickly at the beginning of the game. And an ambrosia potion gave me nausea of all things. Did I get some of it? I got some of it. Oh, it's far worse than I imagined. That happens more than once. No use in running then, is there? Oh, wait. Let me back in. I wonder if there's a way to make yourself immune to that effect. So, Sunbroham, you did previously mention alchemy. Is that the case of us mixing together potions, then? Pick that up. And try not to die. You can't see me, I'm just too fast for you. $434. We're doing a lot better this time around. And there's more of those fiery guys. We don't like them. I suppose that's one way to get rid of fire. Hardly did that do the damage I needed it. There we go. Now avoid the little burning spots, because we still have plenty more to find in here. Potions, chemical reactions, mixing various liquids with other matter like soil, for example. There are many things to know about liquids and how they interact with things you'll learn about. Well, after mixing up the two things in that potion, that did give me the idea. We'll see what does what. I suppose that means we could have used a bag. And with that soil, we could start digging out just whatever we wanted. He's dead. Can I eat that? Oh, no harm in eating grass, apparently. But there is harm in eating oil. And whatever the little spider things are, apparently. Oh, no. Let me take that. What does that do? Food poisoning. Yeah, that'll make sense. I wonder what we could combine slime with. Initially, we could just pour it on top and see if anything forms. But it looks like they don't mix whatsoever. Rather quiet bit of exploration that we have here. But I'd like to take it a little bit more relaxed for now. We're not relaxed anymore. We're lighting things on fire. Straight on through to the other side. we just can't find a spot to stand. Way too much oil. What do blood and slime do? Really nothing. Again, no mixtures to be found here. Water. Slime, water, and oil. I hardly believe there's anything other. Oh, we have some more stuff. And some dense rock to be in our way. A glowing shrine that seems to be missing its wand. So someone around here must have picked it up. I wonder what copper is supposed to do. Different games tend to give these items different functions. No wands found here either. At least give me a warning before you do that. Those guys are just so hard to see. A pouch of purifying powder. We have a lot of different reactions to test, don't we? Coal doesn't really do anything. Alright, 600. We should be set for whenever we find a teleporter out of here. We might not have to do much more exploration given how low our health is. But we'll take a peek over here on the right, just to make sure. And another portal. So, toxic sludge. And purifying powder turns it into water. Noted. Well, we've completed our first alchemical experiment. That's good news for us. Another emerald tablet. This is the one that we found before. If all the mountains were of silver and gold, what would they profit a man who lives in constant fear of death? Hence, there cannot be in the whole world anything better than our medicine, which has the power to heal all the diseases of the flesh. Can I eat these bones? Those might have use somewhere. Not there. Does that turn into gunpowder? Or is that the coal? It's a very interesting set of effects. Ah. We're now having a chance to be a bit more creative in our applications. See if there's anything on the other side. This game presents us with all sorts of challenges. Oh, I don't like the creaky bridge. I don't like that one bit. Entered the orb room. Well, there's another secret for us. The secrets of stormy skies have been unlocked to you. In the tablet here. Emerald Tablet, Volume 7. Among those who devote themselves to the transmutation of metals, however, there can be no such thing as mediocrity of attainment. A person who studies this art must have either everything or nothing. An alchemist who knows only half their craft reaps nothing but disappointment and waste of time and money. Moreover, they lay themselves open to the mockery of those who despise our art. Those indeed who succeed in reaching the goal of the magistery have not only infinite riches, but the means of continued life and health. Hence it is the most popular of all pursuits. Alchemy is very important. Gotta get that Philosopher's Stone. Probably nothing more to be found in here. Just a pretty room for us to gaze at. Or we might have a little exit up here. Goodbye, Wizard Man. Am I about to die? There was that rumbling, but it didn't seem to have any adverse effects to us earlier. There's the adverse effects. Very adverse effects. Well, I suppose that was inevitable, wasn't it? Very well, forbidden knowledge is not for us to take. We're here to make discoveries more than we are here to make progress. Discoveries are a form of progress in their own right. I suppose it does make sense. Nothing tried to murder us immediately after taking the other two orbs, so I have no idea what was going on there. We'll remember you fondly, Wizard Man. God, there's 5 of them. I hate those things the most out of everything I've encountered so far. Give me back that potion. Or not. I wonder, does snow do anything with toxic sludge? No interaction. I certainly like the little bouncy bolts here. Oh, it does have an interaction. Just needs to hit the ground first, doesn't it? That's going to make sure that torch doesn't ignite, though, does it? Ah, that's a start. And that's an end. Nothing more to be done there. And we have our first purchase to make. Reduce recharge time. That might be most useful to us. Magic missile, curse sphere, magic arrow, summon egg. another potion. Trapped behind closed doors, but I don't think we want to use our bombs. Not too soon now. Is there any easy way in? Doesn't look like it. That just might be our ticket. While we're at it, why don't we burn everything to the ground? Speed it up. Oh, that hardly sped it up. Now we should be able to levitate over. Let me over there. And nothing found from above. So we'll have to crawl in from the side. A gunpowder potion. That'll make it far easier for us to dig holes now. And more of these little buggers. At least they go down quickly. They're so hard to see until they're right on top of you. Purple, they'll blend in with the dark. I think our little tower of toxic just exploded sometime. Though we set that in motion, didn't we? No, you get back over there. I want to see you burn. Make ourselves a nice little hole through the wood here. And do our little hover jig. Oh, goodness. What happened here? Well, Invisibilium is obviously going to be useful for us. We're finding all sorts of treasures now, aren't we? Freezing liquid, unstable teleportium, levitatium. Worm pheromone, concentrated mana potion. Flummox is what gave us scrambled controls, I believe. Oh, interesting. That makes the freezing vapor. It's not particularly mixing with any of these other chemicals, though. A lava potion spells certain death for us. I think the levitation will be most useful to us, though. I'm gonna be picking up another potion. I guess I don't need the bottle now, do I? That will be far more useful to us. Brass pouch. Well, what's the least important thing we have on us? I suppose that would be the gunpowder. Is there any way to peacefully get rid of those? I'd like to know. Huh. Alright, that's very interesting. Brass and grass. I suppose that applies to all the metals. Maybe they count as a powdery substance. Scoop up some more of our little coal here. Alright, we're making much more creative use of the mechanics that we have here. Click and drag it from your inventory to your feet. You are very helpful. Thank you. Ah, another... Oh, is that what I think it is? You already know which one you have to go for. I wonder what electric charge does. Well, we obviously have to pick up every single electric effect we can come across. Berserkium. Still, probably not that useful for us. This is a bad idea. It was a very good idea, okay. That did not murder us. Against all expectations. Another wand with plenty of a capacity for us. And, of course, more bombs. We're not heading in there just yet. Stand still, let me hit you. Well, we have a lot of gold to go off of. This was still the same file that we had some other stuff for us to find and purchase at the beginning, wasn't it? There's that modifier with the faster recharge. I don't know if that was the previous one we died on, though. Seems plenty of things are dying before we even get there. Guess that cuts down on the work we have to do now. Off to a wonderful start so far, doing plenty of damage to these guys. And gathering up plenty of money. The world will be ours to purchase. I'm going to guess this game has some level of, conspicuous item placement. It's this one? Alright. Conspicuous item placement, which will allow... Yeah, I was curious if that was actually the same playthrough. Because of that reason. Help me. There, then pick some of that back up. Cuts off there. Is this that? Is this the lava room again? It sure feels like it. Oh, please stop it. You're not dousing me like I want you to. Suppose I'll have to be a lot more careful now. Given how that cuts off and then ends up to the very conspicuously designed spot over here. I still have no idea what purpose those tablets serve. Maybe if you carry them to certain places, they'll do something for you. Alright, we'll see if we can stealthily get our way back up to the top and check that other shop for whatever items may remain. And we'll be very careful about it. I swear I thought I killed all the enemies around here, but it seems people are still quite lively. And rambunctious. Oh, there's still another one around. So glad we lived through that one. I'm not gonna take any silly risks. Seems the enemies have respawned after we've left. That's right, buddy. You've fallen right into my trap. Ah, there it is, up there. Reduced recharge time is obviously what we'll want. Curse Sphere, Magic Arrow, Summon Egg. None of those give us too much more in the way of beneficial effects, so... let's keep on keeping on. I'm excited to see what else we can experiment with. Hopefully, once I get better at this game, we'll be able to do a lot more experimentation with wands, see what effects they can arise. You know, I'm thinking about possibly doing maybe more spontaneous streaming in the future. If I start doing things on Twitch, or start simulcasting, that might be the case. If I randomly decide, hey, I'm just going to play this game all day. Which for a game like this, with such uncertainties abound, I just might try. We'll wait until that finishes burning. As you know, the longer you stream, the more likely it is you'll pick up a guest as well. That had quite the huge variety of effects. Interesting. Well, I'm glad we were nowhere near when that started. That gives me a little bit of an idea. We'll wait on it. Let's just make progress while we can. Interesting. Lots of firebolts. The bolt that casts something when it hits. That seems like a good variety of effects and for a cheap cost. Peculiar bouncy explosive bolt. Light. We're entering a boss fight, aren't we? Why else would we have the ominous drum suddenly appearing? We didn't disturb some ancient deity now, did we? That will release on impact. Shuffle, yes. This one doesn't shuffle. So let's swap out this one. See what effects we can come up with. Make ourselves a responsible lightning wand. Unfortunately so, worm may have cost... Oh dear. Let's get our way out of here. Fire immunity. There. That's very good for us. Drink that. Although we've lost our opportunity to modify our staffs now, haven't we? We're stuck like this. What a predicament we find ourselves in. Well, pacifist run. A little bit of gold will help us on our way. We just need to find one wand that will allow us to hit something. Something hopefully without a limited number of uses. Get away from me. I'd like you to stop following me. Okay, invisibilium apparently is not something you could drink. Just pour it on the ground. Alright. Yep, pacifist Noita. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Ah, an invisibilium and vomit potion. Wonderful. That's probably not actually going to hurt us. Does that count as fire damage? Oh, we've already found the next holy shrine. We'll see if we can find any other runes first. I wonder if we can compel those guys into friendly fire. That would be useful for us. Kaboom. Sure doesn't seem like we're given too much room to move around this time around. Gunpowder. Good luck, buddy. I'm too far away from you. So we're doing this again. Well, that's one way to solve a problem. Yeah, it sure doesn't look like we're given too much room to move around here. There we go. Maybe down through here will give us a wand. Around the crazy guy with his shotgun. Missed. Ah, one of those hives again. Not what I looked forward to. Please leave me alone. I only have one more chance to not be a pacifist. I'd rather not squander it. Wow, we've got everything trying to kill me now. I suppose we'll make our way into the Holy Mountain. We can reconfigure our staves from there. Our wands. We don't have magic staffs in this game. Just simple wands. And I can't blast my way through that hole. We'll just have to take the long way around. One that's full of little eyeball bat boys. Walk through the fire. We're not scared. No, but our levitation absolutely sucks. Kept getting me stuck into the ceiling there. Pick it up and start again. The chat analytics aren't doing anything for me right now. Let me refresh the stream real quick while you have a moment. Huh. You've been in here a while, Sunbroham, but it still says I have 0 viewers. So, that strikes me as odd. Okay, there we go. Now it finally has something registering. So we start with a Berserkium and a wand equipped with firebolts. And our little short-range spark. Ah, Kayla, welcome. Glad to see you showing up. YouTube just stopped caring about me, didn't they? They said you have 2 months. They're not giving me any more of their processing power at this point. Well, that was a shame we lost the lightning bolt and all the other good effects. We've gotten a lot of knowledge from this stream so far, knowing a little bit about alchemy and how the pattern substances in this game will work. There's a little potion or an item down there, but we don't have access to it yet. I wonder. That carved us a hole. Picked up a gunpowder potion. I don't think that's something I should drink. I wonder what gunpowder will be good for. At least for alchemical purposes. No way we're getting through that steel. Toxic rock, if that has some purifying potion, or purifying powder, that probably just turns back into a regular rock. So the steel barely cracked from that explosion. Didn't look like it actually disrupted at all. Please don't explode on me. There, thank you. We are making a lot of fireworks indeed, Kayla. And, so is that guy. Oh, both of them. There's two of them around here. And the lava everywhere. So that's gonna be a pain to get. And pain was had. This is a really bad idea. Can I kick that through at all? There we go. Now we've made our way in. Only a torch. Well, I suppose it's something. I wonder what's going on with that stuff right there. Hardly any upgrades or wands found this time. I wouldn't count this torch as a wand. Oh, good heavens. What exploded over here? More importantly, can I take it and not die? So little gold, so little substance of worth found. I think it's best we just head on to the mountain. Get me out of the... No, don't have those rocks standing on me. Just barely survived. Oil cloud. Glittering field. What does that do now? Small explosions appear randomly over a large area. I suppose that's of some use to us. Chainsaw will be very good for anything that has a lot of mana. Well, this one doesn't have more than one effect, so that might just be where it goes. see what other little effects we have here, if there's something you can synergize with. Your spells deal 3-time damage when under health. Fungal creatures spawn from the corpses of enemies killed by you. You can sense nearby wands. Given that we're behind, this will probably be a lot more useful to get us ahead instead. Good tool for cutting meat. Let's go ahead and combine those. Oh, try that again. That might just do more damage when it actually lands on something. Get the firebolts together on here, and we'll leave this one for the glittering field. See what this does. I like it. I'm skeptical of how useful it is, though. And goodbye. Off we go into the coal pits. We'll have the opportunity to get ourselves some gold this time. With a wand that apparently forces us to be more responsible than we're used to. Ah, it's just a barrel of water. I thought that would have been filled with alcohol. Or maybe it was, given the smoke. Ah, we have a lot of stuff here. We might come back for that later. I wonder if we have a way to carve back up into there. Nope, apparently not. We cannot chainsaw through the brickwork. I do enjoy the chainsaw, though. Having the chance to destroy the terrain sets us ahead quite a bit. Are there any streams in particular you two would like to see this weekend? You two are the closest I have to regulars. I'm thinking gear, but for the people who watch me the most, I'd have to please them, of course. Oh. Oh, okay, that's the radar. That's the wand radar. So that's what those little green effects are. See if I can get me a little bit of this gold here. And move on. What does this one do? Another lance. Hardly useful for us. Is the wand any good, though? Sure doesn't really look like it. It's just still splattering down there, isn't it? It's interesting, the little bouncy sphere will occasionally have spell effect trigger after it bounces and hits a wall. Might want to just pour that on myself. Destroy those. Those are full of water, and those will help us. There we go. You see that snipe? I'm really good at aiming this. Give this a little bit of a burn. I suppose I'll try getting back into gear. That's my best foot forward, and I've had a little bit of time to train and get better. Ukoskivi, whatever that means. Rock, gray rock. And some weird fungus, it looks like. Oh, what am I thinking? We have a way to dig our way in there. Slowly. Hopefully that doesn't hurt us. We'll be back for that after we pick up these wands. Well, of course the air is humid. We're surrounded by fungi. Blue fungus. Hopefully that doesn't hurt. It does not. Bouncing blast. I suppose that's worth a shot. I think our first one's going to be a lot more useful for us. Oh, there's that thing again. That we still have no idea how to defeat. And chainsaws are also not a very good idea on them. Noted. I suppose we have the chance to try this again. Hopefully that doesn't collapse and pinch. So what does this do? This small rock makes you feel very charged. So it probably just has electric effects to it. If we stood in water, for example. It also seems to prevent us from taking damage from electric effects while it's active. Well, that's useful, and I appreciate it. Suppose it gives me an opportunity to just drown myself and my foes, then make short work of them afterwards. Oh, nice shot, and a nice reward. If I can get over there before it expires. Really curious about those two wands, but we're already full on our stock. We'll just be wanting to go for effects now. And that seems like something we have plenty of here. Giant explosion on slimy enemies. That seems a bit too specific there. Return. After a period of time, you'll return to where you cast the spell. That, I think, is very good for getting us out of trouble. Another bouncing burst would be fun. toxic mist. And a circle of fire. Expanding circle of burning air. Simple enough. So we want something that has a larger mana max. We've already learned that. 80, 750, 320. Let's see. Put those up here. See just how long this lasts. Oh, wrong one. Cast delay 0.43 seconds. Ah, that one has it the fastest. Oh, well, that's a way to completely expire that. With that huge capacity, just firing those shots haphazardly shouldn't set us too far back now, should it? Put the chainsaw on here, where it might last us... Oh, that is not going to work for us at all. I don't think that's going to be too useful for us. And while we're here, why not pick this one up? Reorder those. That'll do us some damage. Let's swap those around since we're not going to be using the chainsaw too often. Revenge bullets, high mana, low capacity. You can fly 100% longer. I think that one's a pretty easy win there. So firebolts go there. Ah, I still had a reduced recharge time, didn't I? Oh no, I used that on the first one. Stop getting ourselves hurt now. Luckily, we can fly just about everywhere now. That's being irresponsible. I remember those guys explode now. And they send a lot of ice in your direction. Every single shot you hit them with. Alright, fine. Maybe they're weak to fire. Maybe I should do that instead. We're really not going to last long down here. Far too many enemies for us. Well, that serves as a makeshift shield for us. To try to dig our way out this way. A lot of these buggers, aren't there? Ah, the fire will make quick work of us. Not surviving that encounter. But we found plenty of new effects, at least. There's still so much more this game has to offer. I'm impressed. I'm going to be spending 100 hours here, aren't I? Maybe not one of the games I should have picked up then if I'm going to be streaming so sparingly. I suppose that would just mean I have to stream way more often. Which I'd be very happy to, honestly. As it stands, though, we don't have nearly enough of a following. I'd actually get a much better return on investment if I were to, say, cut up a few of these clips, turn them into a compilation, or just start posting memes left and right. I hope the algorithm picks me up at some point. So far, it seems to have done a little bit of work. This science boy will have to do a lot more research. And that should be my specialty. Get out of here. All right. Spent a lot of time in Noita, huh? That checks out. Makes perfect sense. While it's a roguelike, these are great games for getting a large amount of time out without necessarily expending it on... what's that? Tiny rock looks most fiery, but when touched only a pleasant warmth can be felt. That's gonna turn all the water into steam. Interesting. It feels like we're finding a lot more secrets more frequently. We've been finding a lot of magical stones so far, and we haven't been doing that in our prior 2 runs. But as I was saying, roguelikes are a great way to spend some investment on time, without using it up on, say, something very important like a story-driven game, which you might want to save until you have more viewers. Those are the games that are better for retaining people. Last run lasted 35 hours. How are you supposed to last that long on a single run of this game? I suppose if you catch yourself with enough experience and some good stuff to keep you going. Snow potion, that's what we started with. Ah! Those guys die immediately if they touch water. Just like how most gamers die when they touch grass. There's a little guy over here, let's get rid of him. I'm just going to call them spiders. I don't care what they are otherwise. And I definitely can't pronounce these Swedish names. This definitely would be a very good game to vibe with. If I start moving to Twitch, who knows? I might just leave it running for a very long duration. I like YouTube streaming a lot more, but it seems the meta definitely lends a lot more to Twitch. Though it's a mix on the effects you'll get. I need to see if there's people who do singing streams on Twitch. I know there's a very specific meta where on YouTube you're allowed to get away with, like, say, concerts a lot better. Because copyright infringement and the gray areas that come with it are less strictly policed over on YouTube. With wand knowledge, you can become a demigod-like wizard. Yeah, it's sort of like some sort of functional programming, actually, with the wands. Although I don't think I found enough, big enough wands to be able to use all their effects. But say launching a projectile that clears out an entire room, I can definitely see the point of. YouTube also gives you a bigger proportion of any money you earned, but has a much larger threshold to get in before you start earning money. Which, I have no idea if I'm ever actually going to reach that. Just keep on keeping on, though. We'll slowly gain up subscribers over time. That's actually what I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. I've been thinking about trying to just edit some memes together. That might be a good way to get some more viewers or subscribers on the channel. Whereas Twitch specifically is much more stream focused and only for streams. I mean, you can only upload streams. I was thinking about using YouTube as a vector for lots of other, say, regular memes or any other sorts of video production. I know a lot of streamers have mainly a Twitch channel and then they have a few videos that they'll upload to YouTube. I'd rather just focus mostly on YouTube. YouTube is definitely an absolute gamble. I've done a couple of streams before I ever started VTubing, that still caught me a few decent number of watchers. Even though I was only streaming for my friend, I still had, you know, a good 2 or 3 people show up for a completely irrelevant game at the time. And here, playing such relevant games such as Dead Cells, Noita, and... well, of all them, Guilty Gear, still not getting enough viewers. What really helps me, though, which you should do right now, is hit that like button. And whenever you can, try to comment on the stream. Posting in the chat helps a lot, too. But liking and commenting will definitely boost me a lot more. Now that is a catastrophe right there. Give me the snow. And while you're at it, start purifying this toxicity. Well, thank you, Sunbrohan. I appreciate the help more than you can imagine. It's mostly if you do all of them, say. Individual likes don't do much, individual comments do a little bit more. But if people do a lot of liking and commenting on a video, that will definitely boost it up way higher in the algorithms. Well, that just took us full circle for no reason, didn't it? That's why there's such a meme about everyone saying like, comment, and subscribe on their channels. They are the little bits that boost you in the algorithm. Also, I'd probably do a lot better if I streamed at a more consistent schedule. I'm still trying to figure that out, but for now, most of my streaming up to this point has been gauging my work ethic and just how much I can keep up with it. I've started to develop a bit of a better workflow, and I think in the future, I'll be able to keep up a much more consistent stream schedule. I'll have to see what times are best to stream as well, but I might keep that with a little bit of variance. Go on. If I head in there, it's gonna explode, isn't it? Will it detect me through the wall here? It will not. It's just a barrel of whiskey anyway. Well, now you do something, thank you. You're kidding me. You know I have to verify you, right? Everyone's search results are going to be different. Let's look that up right now, shall we? Of course, it's probably going to show my stream. Yeah, there it is. It's showing my stream now, immediately. There might be a huge bias onto what you're being shown, given that, well, you're watching me here and right now. Is Noita even still popular? It came out last year. I probably would have started streaming it earlier, but it wasn't until this year that I got my model. I made my decision way back in, I think it was late September or October. I think it was around Halloween. Let's go with Halloween that I made my first decision. I really wish I could have gotten it started earlier. I was trying to pitch for February, but there was a bit of a mess in trying to get my original model commissioned. Well, Oni is also very popular. I know YouTube recommendations are very personalized, so who knows? There was one viewer from the past couple of streams who did show up, and that seemed to be out of nowhere. I think it was specifically for looking for Noita content. And you do have a promise from me, at least so far. I'd like to try to develop a much better sleep schedule, and if I could keep up with it, keep up with the sleep schedule, I would very much like to stream every single day. I've been fluctuating between 3 and 5 days a week so far, which I think is a good foundation. Once I actually get an intro, outro, and, you know, other stuff set up, I might try to dedicate a lot more time to streaming anytime I can. Alright, that's one way to cut through a wall. Who knows? I might have much better success. Oh, goodness, what happened here? I might have much better success on Twitch, who knows? One thing I will definitely research is seeing if there's any penalty for simulcasting. I'll see if I can stream to Twitch and YouTube together at the same time. Well, that looks like an excellent wand there. A lot of these are excellent. Let's take off these spells, at least. Good set of stats. I know we're definitely picking up this one. You're just doing it randomly, aren't you? Well, it has shuffle, of course. And once it goes through all of those, it's gonna have to recharge. Shuffle, yes. Shuffle, yes. They're all shuffle ones, aren't... No, not this one. That one fires the mini-saw blades, which do a lot of damage. Seems we have a much more powerful selection of wands here. Let's take a moment and craft a bit, shall we? black hole is better reserved for a smaller capacity wand. I think that's a bit too powerful with too little ammo for us to use for now. Let's pick this one up too while we're at it. Tell if a wand is a shuffle without looking at the stat boxes. Are there different types of wands that only spawn with shuffle effects, or what's the visual cue I'm looking for? So the crystal ones don't shuffle. Interesting. I'm guessing the appearances of these wands change as well. Because so far I've seen quite the variety in them. All-seeing eye, no longer drown and move in liquids with ease. You bleed flammable gas instead of blood. I think all-seeing eye might do best for us for now. Interesting little shrine down there. I don't think there's any way we can interact with it, though. Well, that's cute. So, now that I think about it, with the no shuffle wands, I'm guessing you're talking about wand knowledge, and this is something I'll be picking up in the next few hours as I play. You'll want to have spells that trigger into other effects. I can already tell how some of them are programmed, but a lot of them, Spells per cast 4. And we can't purchase that one. I wonder. This one doesn't have enough mana. Ah. That one shoots the crystals, that's self-explanatory. We'll figure out more effects for these in time. Alright, let's proceed onward with our owl vision. And once again into the coal pits. Progress is slow but steady. So this one's going to alternate between firing 3 and firing 1 saw blade. Okay, noted. Won't help us in the long run, but knowing the crystals and making how it makes the difference between shuffle or not. Got it. Open this bad boy up, let's see what's inside. Well, that would have been more than enough to go back and purchase that wand, but unfortunately, we can't head back. Please stop having babies all over the place. I don't approve. That conduct is not permitted in my classroom. Get that gold, and get out of here. Douse myself once more, because I'll have to do that to get rid of the toxicity. No easy way up there. What happened here? Something died a lot. We need to be very careful with the saw blades. Those are the most capable of hurting us out of all of our weapons. Even if it's exceptionally powerful. Well, I think you know we need to get in there. Ah, that's gonna take a while, isn't it? I suppose if we can make a really good damaging wand and then have a variety of utility wands to complement it, that would do a lot better for our offensive prowess. Wow, you are not getting through there. Just check this there. Hardly help there. At least it's multi-use. Just randomly firing saw blades does a lot for us. Invisibly in potion. I haven't been using the potions nearly enough. I don't know exactly what use I'll have out of the little firestone. I suppose if I need to burn down some more wood. The broken wand, however, I'd say is the most expendable. This, at least allegedly. There we go. That's the way we start some fires in here. Noted. Also seems to make us immune while we're on fire. Maybe it's not a good idea to throw that while we would be on fire from it. And I just threw it to the bottom of the pile now, didn't I? We'll wait for that. I wonder how far off screen those pixels simulate. Enemy AI probably does nothing, but it's an interesting thing to ponder. Yeah, it's probably fallen to the very bottom of that coal. Darn, that didn't blow us up through the wall. We do have a path around, though. You know, that's something I ought to try. A lot of people who watch streamers will watch them until very late hours of the morning. Maybe I should stop being exactly so formulaic and maybe a bit more spontaneous to test the waters. Start a stream at, you know, some late time, and see how long it can continue. A Saturday marathon stream one of these days. It'd have to be with a very relaxed and slow-paced game like this, though. I have trouble enough keeping up the energy playing Guilty Gear, for example. Get me through there. I can apparently eat coal? Okay. Run that one by me again. Worm pheromone potion, not too useful. And nothing to be found up there. Oh, get that before anything bad happens to it. More berserkium, less useful. Very well, I'll bite. What does berserkium do? I'm gonna guess obviously it ups your damage, but does it up the damage you take as well? Since our classmate son Broham seems to be knowing so much about this game, I also appreciate an opportunity to learn. That's one way to get rid of some water. You should do a lot more with that fire, thank you. You're blocking off my path. So we'll just have to take this rock and chuck it around onto any flammable surface we find. Hopefully not hurt ourselves in the process. Like what we are doing now. Along with explosion radius. Interesting. Let's just head straight for Holy Mountain. I think we're about to die. We have enough gold to purchase whatever we might find on the other side. But no health pickups. Teleportation, chainsaw, and then a variety of other effects on it. Ooh, that one looks nice. A powerful fireball would be a great auxiliary high damage weapon for us. Yep, lots of fire indeed. But it's not so much of a problem for us anymore. Sand and other soft powder dissolve quickly in your presence. You know, given that our next place is full of snow, that's probably what we're gonna pick. See what interesting effects it brings us. I'll take... I think this is the most expendable of our wands. That was the one we started with, wasn't it? Spells per cast, 1. And it will go through a cycle. This one casts 3 spells and goes through a shuffle. This one does 2. Yeah, it's a worm crystal, apparently. It's only been appearing for the last few runs. I don't know how to get to it. Although, given that there was an object called a worm pheromone potion, that probably has something to do with it. Let's go with this one just for the hilarity of it. We're not gonna need the chainsaws like that. But I think randomly firing a bunch of spark bolts should do us some good. Oh, that's not a good idea. Not with the fire trail. not the heavy spread on that one. Recharge time 4 seconds. So I think for that one we might want to save that for if we really need to nuke something. If we put all the modifiers at the front, what if we stuck all the saw blades here instead? Am I still carrying a gunpowder on the fire trail? Oh, that is really dangerous. I like it. I don't have any gunpowder on me, but... let's see, that gives us some explosives at least. How does the chainsaw compare to this, though? We could just use that for digging through holes. Oh, that'll do a little bit of digging. Although it definitely isn't running out of mana anytime soon. This one we can legitimately use as just a chainsaw. Oh, and it does slowly carve through the dirt. Oh, I think you know what we need to try. It's not going to carve through that now, is it? Or this. Just the starter room, it looks like. It's only going to work over here. Apparently that does a lot of melee damage. But given that the enemies hurt us by touching us, not the best of ideas. Spells per cast 1, that has fireballs. So that'll be a very good medium damage weapon for us. We have plenty of extra money, so we might not need the unstable crystal here. Although we need something to destroy the environment, that will be for the chainsaw. Small teleport bolt that moves you wherever it ends up flying. I don't think that's a good idea. This one, though, has a good effect for a bit of crowd control. And it doesn't even fire. You're pathetic. Spells per cast. 2. Well, I like that one. If we had 2 of those triple modifiers, though, wouldn't that pretty much guarantee? I like that, okay. Are you proud, son Broham? We're at least experimenting now. So that's if I really need to put the hurt on someone. Including myself, apparently. Spells per cast 3. suppose we don't need to make it consistent, just so long as it hurts something. Well, I'm always up to experiment. That's actually one reason why I picked this game. I like to experiment a lot with the effects that are available to me. Oh right, we can't even cast that. Can we cast that if we take off the modifiers? No! That wand just came with not enough mana for what we would have been wanting to do with it. That's a pretty straightforward staff, or wand right there. Let's apply some more modifiers to it. That's just if we really need to burn something. I do say that too often, don't I? I talk about testing the parameters a lot, way more than I should. It's a catchphrase. I think that one will do much better as a basic wand because we can just keep firing that and that has much less of a chance of hurting us. This one for when we really need to nuke something, this one just serves as a basic fire attack. And then the last one, we'll just use for cutting through terrain. Sand and other soft powdery materials dissolve quickly in your presence. I suppose that's our best idea. We can pretty much just keep firing this one. It's not going to run out anytime soon. Our life mites, though. Yikes. We'll use that if we ever need to clear out a room. Well, there goes the powder. I think that is where... Oh. Falling to the ground immediately there. Ah, this will be very useful against those guys who keep throwing the exploding eggs at us or whatever those are. You can't hurt me anymore. Or maybe you can with all the freezing vapor. We have to be a lot more careful, especially since we haven't picked up any health. But we're figuring out what the wands do, and that's what's really important. That one would probably be a lot better with the saw blades. With this one, we're just kind of shooting until we hope we hit something. I think maybe if we use the saw blades on those guys, those would be a lot less dangerous. Go down and get that gold nugget before it vanishes. And I think it did right before we got to it. A shame. What's this one do? Firebomb, damage plus. That might be important to us. Formation hexagon, spells per cast, shuffle, yes. Comparatively, it might do a lot better than the fireball wand we have here. Just about all of its stats are slightly better across the board in exchange for a shuffle. Oh, that's cute. Slow fiery bolts and in a hexagon. That one we could combine with the spark bolt here and have a wide area of effect attack. And the saw blade came back to hurt us. Concentrated light. We'll give this one a try at least, even if we don't keep it. Ah, nice little beam. But I think we can do without it for the moment. Yikes. Just as long as we don't let him get away with it again. We're gonna keep landing ourselves in deeper and more difficult territory, and we're not gonna be prepared for it. We're not gonna have the health to contend with all these enemies. So those guys we don't want to attack from above, because they create all that freezing vapor which hurts us. This game has officially become Minecraft. Digging bolt. Is that any better? Hardly. I think the wand itself for this one was just a lot better, so we'll pick that one back up. Chainsaw way down here. Seems like that is in trouble, whatever it is. Oh, more freezing vapor. Be careful. Very careful. Ah, so we do have a way in there. Doesn't look like there's any treasure to be found, so we might just avoid it. Wait for that to dissipate, and we'll head right back in. So far, this seems to be one of our best runs. That's escaping. I think we got hurt a little bit from walking through there. I didn't expect it to have that explosive of an effect. Well, we're still learning. What the heck is the name of that guy? Uko. So much to learn. We haven't even found 30% of the enemies in here. Or a fifth of the spells. I mean, you can see we've been here about, what, 9 hours, and we've only found a fifth of the content so far. Well, I'm definitely interested in playing this game a lot more. I might reserve this for spontaneous Twitch streams, given that it has Twitch integration. That's probably one way to start diversifying what we're doing on this channel. I might start trying to stream Noita and maybe Dead Cells, any of the roguelikes that take up a lot of time, on any of the weekend days where I have plenty of time to spare. From there, otherwise, the more cinematic games are games that I'd play for only a shorter duration, such as the Oblivion or Red Dead or fighting games. He got you in the first time too, son Bronham? Yeah. A lot of enemies in these roguelikes will catch you off guard, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to learn, die, and then start again. But I might save my more scheduled streams during the week for games that I play for only a smaller amount of time. That's an interesting idea. What if I streamed for a consistent schedule on weekdays, but then on weekends I just stream on Twitch for much longer and much more spontaneous games, however long I wanted? We'll test around and see what we can do. After all, I'm a scientist. We're supposed to experiment, aren't we? Let's see. Tomorrow is Friday. I might stream, but given that it's a weekend, it's definitely going to have some Guilty Gear to be done. I'm looking forward to streaming with Twitch soon, so we'll pick that up to try it, at least for Dead Cells and Noita. We're going to be building a lot of different strategies here, but thank you so far for being with me along the way. I really hope to see you soon. Class is dismissed.